Hello, friend. Jim here with JB's Big Adventure, coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. Well, I have got probably one of the most important videos I've ever made to date for you today. If you are age 65 and older, if you are having a challenge trying to prove that you're able to meet the solvency requirement or the financial requirement that is actually being shown for your local Mexican consulate to be able to get a temporal visa or a permanente, then this video is for you. But before I get to that, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's fast, free, and easy to do. All you got to do is go to the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. There's a little red box, tap on it, and you're subscribed. Also, give us one of those thumbs up. Lets other people know it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala. Well, let's get into the very important information. So, a good friend of mine, one of the local YouTubers, Jerry, who's with JC Travel Stories, actually did a video in regards to being able to avoid some of the hurdles that people come across when it comes to qualifying to get your temporal or your permanent visa here for Mexico. And once I saw that, I realized that there was some real meat there. And I've done quite a bit of research, quite a bit. I mean, I have even spoken to immigration attorneys about this and presented to them the document. In fact, I've got the 67-page document right here, legal document that actually shows the information I'm going to be sharing with you. Now, again, this is if you are age 65 and above and you're having a challenge meeting the solvency requirements. So what I'm going to do is I've put together a set of slides. I'm going to go through them to help walk you through some things. This is going to be very important. If this has been a challenge in your trying to make the move to Lake Chapala possible for you, I want to let you know there's hope. I want to let you know that you can do it. And you're going to want to make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. So let's get to the information. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the Mexican consulates and the requirements for either your temporal or your permanente and see what the solvency financial requirements are. So as you can see here for Las Vegas, to be able to qualify for your temporal visa, you would need to be able to prove by 12 months of bank statements that you may have made over $3,111 a month. Now, to some, that's a very steep number, and for some, that is so out of the reach that it just doesn't make sense. But going to the right, what you can see is to be able to qualify as a permanente resident, your permanent visa, it's $5,186 proven by 12 months of bank statements. Now, as we go down the list, you can see that Phoenix actually shows a bit different of a number. It shows $2,530 proven over 12 months bank statements for the solvency required for temporal. And on the right, it shows $4,216 when it comes to the permanente. So these are some benchmarks that you have to be able to hurdle and get over to be able to qualify. And I very well know that this is something that a lot of people are having a challenge trying to meet. So that's the reason of this video. Okay, so I recognized how this is a very important subject to some. Again, age 65, unable or having a challenge trying to meet the solvency requirements. So this is a life event, and this video is actually geared for those who are age 65 or older, unable to meet the financial requirements. They're on a fixed income, living only on Social Security, disability, or only on a pension. So I want you to know up front that I am not an attorney. I just saw some information. There was a seed that was planted that I already looked into that I saw had real value to people wanting to make their move into Mexico dream a possibility. Okay, so what I want to share with you is this, that just because that you don't know of a law doesn't mean that that law does not exist. Now, this is something that you're going to hear a lot. People are going to talk about the solvency requirements, but you know what? 99.9% of the people that are saying that have no idea about this law. So, yeah, immediately recognized by our immigration attorney. I went and saw her, set up a special meeting to go meet with her, and I shared the document. In fact, she recognized it. So this is a Mexican immigration law. Now there's 162 articles, and this is article number 54. For this law to be followed, enforced, or executed, I want you to know it's solely at the discretion of the Mexican consulate that you're presenting your documents at. Now, it was made very clear to me that you are not able to have this enforced by an attorney that is in Mexico. For this law to be followed again, enforced or executed, it's solely at the discretion of the Mexican consulate that you're at. You might need to get help from an immigration attorney that is in the States. Yes, you might need to get the help of a Mexican immigration attorney in the States. So it's the job of the Mexican consulate, remembering this is really important too. It's the job of the Mexican consulate to generate income for the country of Mexico. That's understood. So it might take some persistence to really be able to get this done. Okay, so here's the first page of the legal document. And what I am doing is I am actually including the link to the document in the description below of the video. This is going to be a really important document for you, and you're going to want to make sure that you go right to that and download it. Again, the link to the online document is listed in the link below in the description of the video. You'll want to make sure to go and again, download the document. So here you can see Article 54. And what I did was I had this translated into English, so I made sure that I had the verbiage and the wording correct. But there are actually 7 different things under Article 54 that you can actually avoid the requirement for the solvency to move to Mexico. Now, this video is not to talk about all the different, I'm not going to say loopholes, but the legal ways of doing it. But I'm going to talk about item number 3, article number 3. It says that the status of permanent resident will be granted to the foreigner who is located in any of the following cases. Number 3 says that they are retirees or pensioners who receive from a foreign government or international organization or private companies for services rendered abroad, an income that allow them to live in the country. That is very clear, very straightforward verbiage that is letting you know that if you meet this legally, you can be in Mexico. But again, remember, it is solely at the discretion of the Mexican consulate that you visit. So I'm going to get into how to, in fact, approach this when it comes to being at the Mexican consulate. So this slide is basically just kind of sharing what does it cost to live in Mexico in 2023. Now, I went to the Mexican Social Security Institute, which is called the IMSS, to find out what salaries are in Mexico in 2023. So the average salary in Mexico is 523 Mexican pesos a day. That's 29 US dollars. And that would be 560 US dollars a month. Yes, you saw that correct. The average income for Mexico is $560 US a month. So as you can see here, starting at the bottom of this list, these are receptionists, teachers, store managers, police officers, accountants. I just wanted to choose some incomes of some job or salaries of different positions that you would recognize. So for receptionists to live in Mexico, well, I should say, so receptionists make 735 US dollars a month. This is a month. These are not daily, but a month. Teachers, the average is $982 US. Store manager, $1,134. Police officer, $1,263 US dollars. An accountant, $1,377. Now, again, I just used some different salaries of different positions or careers of individuals that are working here in Mexico, and in fact, what they make. Now, as you know, you're looking at your Social Security check or your pension, and you can get an idea of what it costs to live in Mexico. Now, I'm actually going to dive even deeper into this. So remember and see what these amounts are. And now we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So this is directly off of Google. There was 217 million requests for the information. So 217 million results. And it only took 0.42 seconds to actually get the information. So a summary of the costs of living in Mexico. A family of four, estimated monthly costs are, and it shows there, 38,403 Mexican dollars a month without rent. A single person, estimated monthly cost is $625.80. That is US. For a single person, estimated monthly cost is $625.80. That's without rent. So now let's take a look at rents. Here is a showing of videos that I have done in regards to rentals here at Lake Chapala. On the top left-hand corner, you see there is a one-bedroom, one-bath that I showed that was only $250 a month. To the right of that, there's something for $350 to $400. So you can look through these numbers, and you're going to see numbers that are right around $1,000 a month. Now, is that what you make on your Social Security, is $1,000, or do you make a little bit less than that? Well, that's the entire reason why you're watching this video, because I want to show you what the requirement is. Remember, it said to make enough money to allows you to live in Mexico. So when you go to your Mexican consulate, wherever that consulate may be, I'm going to share some things with you that you're going to want to make sure that you do. That way, when you go, you're going to be armed and you're going to have all the information that you're going to need to be able to present this information to the Mexican consulate that you actually go to. My whole goal is by the time that you are finished, you're going to get a handshake. You're going to be able to say thank you to someone that was willing to sit down with you, to go through the document with you and say, you know what, you're correct about this. It's something that you do qualify for, and we're going to make sure that we allow you to live in Mexico, and here is your temporal visa, or whichever visa it is. It's going to be the temporal because that's going to be the one that is the least requirement to be able to qualify to live in Mexico. Now, this slide is very, very important, and this is going to be something you're going to want to do. You're not going to want to just let this go by. So to do what I'm talking about, you don't need an appointment, because here's what you can do. When you go to the Mexican consulate, you want to make sure they're asking to speak with somebody who speaks English. That is very important. You're going in armed with information, and you want to make sure that you're asking to speak with somebody who speaks English. Once you find that, you want to find out if, in fact, if you can speak with the director, the assistant director, whoever may be in charge, the person that can actually make a decision, okay? You want to make sure you download this document, this legal document, and take this document with you along with your Social Security or your pension letter, showing that you qualify per the law. Now, here's something else that you can also do. You could even take 6 months or 12 months of your bank statements to show that, in fact, you've got those funds going into your account every single month. Now, remember, the document talked about if you receive a letter from Social Security or from pension that shows that you make a monies every single month and you're retired, you're over age 65, and you can show that, then you qualify under the law. But you've got to make sure that you're talking to the right person, that they speak English, they understand you. You're going to show them a document that's in Spanish, and you want to make sure to have your Social Security letter or your pension letter. And I would suggest at least 12 months of your bank statement. So there's going to be a little bit of planning to do this. But you're not going to be needing an appointment. You're just going to walk in because you're not going in to go through the line and do it the way that everyone else does it to be able to get qualified. You're going in with armed information about a legal document that states exactly why you're there. Now, this is really important. If you get turned down, and you very well could be, this isn't something I've gone and done. I know that when we went to the Mexican consulate ourselves, I know for a fact that we just squeaked by. I mean, we barely made it. So I know the anxiety and everything that goes into doing this. But if you're turned down, don't get discouraged. Be persistent. There's more than just one Mexican consulate. This might take some investment of time, investment of money. It's going to be something that if it's important to you, you want to make sure that you do this and do it exactly the way that I'm sharing with you, because I'm sharing with you the way to do it. If I personally was going to do this, if I had a family member that needed to do this, this is exactly the direction that I would go. Now, I want to close, and I want just to remind you that it's up to the discretion of the official at the Mexican consulate. My immigration attorney made it very, very clear that it's up to the discretion of the Mexican consulate, of the official that you're speaking to. That's why I mentioned to speak with somebody who speaks English. I would encourage you to ask for the director or the assistant director, somebody who's in a position of leadership that can make a decision for you. Download this document, take it with you, take along your Social Security letter or your pension letter or both, showing that you qualify per the law. Now, I would encourage you to take not just 6 months, I would take 12 months of bank statements showing that, in fact, that you qualify. Now, you might even want to take a letter from the bank that even says that you've got an account with them. You want to be armed with as much information as you can be, just so you can show your desire is sincere. You're wanting to move to Mexico. You want to be able to live in a place where you're not dealing with all of the stresses and the strife and the political things that are going on in the States and the crime and all those things. You can bring those up even. You can just let them know that you really want to live in Mexico. You love the Mexican people. You love the culture. You love the food. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can say, but this is what you're wanting to do if you're looking at moving to Mexico. And again, and lastly, just recapping that it's up to the discretion of the official at the Mexican consulate. Well, friend, I hope this has been real helpful for you. I know that this can be a real daunting task, but I've tried to make it very simple steps. Basically, there's only 3 steps to it. I'd like to encourage you to adhere to it, to follow through those. And then let me know, reach back out to me. Let me know in the comments. Let me know through an email even of, in fact, what your results were, because I'd love to be able to find your result and see if I can be of any more encouragement and direction for you. So with that, I hope it's been helpful for you. So there you go. A way to be able to still make your dream of moving to Lake Chapala, Mexico, a reality. Age 65, just knowing some legal information that you're now being able to be armed with and being able to have as part of your information to prove that you qualify. So again, hope it's been helpful for you, and I hope that make things happen. And I'd love to hear your response to the video. Well, if you haven't already, I'd like to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's a great community, and I know you want to be a part of it. All you got to do is go to the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little red box. Tap on it, and you're subscribed. Also, give us one of those thumbs up. Lets other people know it's a great video to watch about retiring to Lake Chapala. Stop by, say hi, ask a question, leave a comment in regards to your having an interest in Lake Chapala or even about this video or a video idea. And also go ahead and hit the bell, because that way you'll be immediately notified when our next video comes out and you don't want to miss our next video. So with that, as always, thank you so much for supporting this channel and being a part of this wonderful community. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you on the next video.